And we're back. Nobody's with me, but that's okay. My apologies, guys, for the break up there. The computer blue screened me to death. So yeah, complete system failure. Not too sure what's happening there. I don't know, do I have a bit of dodgy RAM happening or something like that? Something might need to be changed again. Only updated the RAM there not too long ago, so maybe I got a faulty one at some point. So let's hopefully we can figure that out. My apologies, my apologies. We give people a couple of minutes to jump back in, and we will flick on over there again and have a look at that video. Who's out there in the hot box, guys? Give me a shout. Let me know who's back with us. My bad, my bad. We'll be wrapping this up there in the next 5 to 10 minutes anyway, so not to worry. Pay the ball, Ben Fiend. Shh, Mr. Finnegan. Shh. Got blue screened the computer system. It's most likely hopefully it's a software problem. Hopefully it just might need to update some drivers or something like that. I'll check there now once we finish up the streaming. I keep getting this crap over on my Chrome for some reason. I'm not too sure why. Getting this this crap. Oh snap! It's like, oh snap. And then sometimes I get blue screened. So maybe it's an issue being caused by Firefox. Or not Firefox, by Chrome. Maybe if I switch over there to Firefox, I might not get that issue. And to be fair, I used to always use Firefox. Don't know why I started using Chrome. I think it's just because it became easier to integrate it with my phone or something like that. Emanians. Boom, there we go. What? This one crashed too. Stop. Stop. This syrup. This syrup is messing up my computer. All their fucking ads, probably. Let's see if we can get it to work. Stay prayer for me out there, guys. 6 spot though. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it keeps going. Oh shit, we just finished the syrup. CIA. Yes. One thing I noted missing in this, I watched this video earlier, is that the lack of a social area in there. Like there's no space to sit down and kind of socialize, hang out. I don't think they've like allowed for cannabis lounges yet over in the US, in Las Vegas, in places like Las Vegas. You kind of have to still buy your cannabis and leave. I don't believe you can kind of sit down and have a smoke inside in there and a cup of coffee and stuff like that. You can. I don't think so. Maybe there's an upstairs to it. Could be wrong. Like there was this area for food and drinks. But I don't think you can smoke. Like that's a drink that guy. Like don't be misled. That was a drink that guy had. I don't see bongs or anything on the table. You know, it's food and drinks. I don't think you can consume your cannabis there yet. Maybe your edibles. You can't smoke. But they do fun looking games and things like that. Looks like a 6 spot. This is where you get to buy all your weed. We got lots of stuff on display there. Like those look like little jars, probably all different strains, different concentrates, different growers. being a kid all over again in a candy store. I want one of everything, please. And this is the outside of it. So this is like the roof. So maybe on the roof, maybe they'll let you go up on the roof and have a few talks. Looks like a sick spot. So boom, yes, we managed to get the whole video without it crashing. Boom, that one crashed. So there we go, Planet 13. So while we're locking people up here in Ireland, over in Las Vegas, they've got a 112,000 square foot facility for selling cannabis. Something that we're locking people up for. Something that America still has people in prison for. There's probably prisons in Nevada, in Las Vegas, near Las Vegas, that probably have people there for cannabis still, I'd imagine. I would imagine. Oh, absolutely fucking insane to think of that one, you know? Like 112 square foot cannabis, 112,000 square foot cannabis facility at a time when they still have thousands of people, not hundreds, but thousands of people in prison in the same country. What in the name of God is going on? Hey, Bobby, welcome back. Scatness, welcome back. Apologies, guys. System failure there a couple of minutes ago. I don't know if you know what a blue screen of death is. I hope you don't. Hope you don't ever have to find out what it is. But I got a blue screen of death. Hopefully I can get to the root of that problem. Maybe my computer just had too much of the syrup. It's got a second-hand high. Yes, that is I believe all it. Oh no, it's not. It's one last news piece. As I wanted to finish with this one. Hopefully this page doesn't crash. Let's get back over there to this. Page. Boom. There we go. So you see this one? Hundreds of drug driving convictions are currently in limbo in Ireland because of a pending High Court case. So this is a High Court case of O'Leary versus the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions in Ireland. O'Leary alleges, or his defence alleges, that the Gardaí who carried out the drug intoxication test at the side of the road, which doesn't actually indicate intoxication, I might add, but nonetheless, that's what they use it for. The grinder go. I'm gonna pack up a ball. But anyway, the drug driving test, they alleged that he didn't. Oh, there it is. He didn't follow the proper procedures. So that effectively the instructions that come along with the test indicate that you have to wait 10 minutes with the person being tested before taking a sample of their saliva to be tested. And this is because if the person has, in this case, come out of somewhere where they might have been eating or anything like that, then that whatever they've been eating could interfere with the test and produce a false positive. Or even a false negative. But so therefore they have to wait 10 minutes to get a clean saliva sample, and then they can test it. But the cops haven't been doing that at all. So the cops, for the most part, when you get stopped by the cops, they basically pull you in to tell you you're going to test you. They get their test, they take their sample, and that's it. Then you have to wait for the sample to be processed at the side of the road. That sometimes takes up to 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes with these tests that they'd be doing. I know my buddy who got one done, and it took him 15 minutes at the side of the road to take the saliva, go to the back of the car, and he was waiting about 10 minutes then at that point for the test to come back, more than 10 minutes. Because it only took him a couple of seconds to actually get the sample of saliva. The most of the time was spent afterwards. So kind of what that indicates to me is that if you were to get stopped and drug tested by the cops in Ireland, you would have to wait a minimum of about 25 minutes. Because if they have to observe you for 10 minutes before taking the saliva sample, and then once they get it, it takes them then almost another 15 minutes after that, you're waiting up to 25, 30 minutes. Like, what a fucking inconvenience that is, just so they can test you to see if you're impaired with a test that doesn't actually indicate impairment. It's scandalous. But anyway, whole area is challenging it, and as a result, now all of the pending prosecutions involving these tests, which are being improperly carried out, not as they're not following the device manufacturer's instructions. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, if these cases actually can go ahead, and if people are going to be charged, or if they scrap the whole thing and reinvest in a new system or different directions. Who knows? But I believe it's a positive one, because I think it gives an opportunity again to talk about the fact that presence of THC in your system is not an indication of impairment. Like, I have a very high tolerance. I could get up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, have about 2 hits of the bong, and I could have quite a high level of THC in my system. But my coordination, my reflexes, my response would be freaking on point. Now, if I woke up and drank some of the syrup, it might be a different story. But a bong hitter too is definitely not going to impair my ability to get behind my wheel in my car, because I use cannabis as a medication. I have to maintain a level of THC in my system in order to alleviate, I suppose, or prevent. That's the word I was looking for. Jeez, that syrup is catching up. Prevent seizures from happening, as I've got epilepsy. So it opens the door for conversation around that, because people in Ireland, you need to know, the Irish policy, as bad as it is around cannabis, we've actually got some very good policy around drug driving with cannabis as a medical patient, unlike other places. So in Ireland, a cop actually can only do you for drug driving if you're a medical cannabis patient, a legitimate medical cannabis patient, if you're a holder of a medical license. They can only do you if they actually observe you driving dangerously, driving impaired. They can't do you with a test. So, like, you're driving down the road and you're swerving all over the road to pull you in, and there's a stinkweed coming out of the car, and you got like fucking load of joints in your thing, and you've been abusing your medicine and you're stoned out of your mind. They can do you then. But like, if you're a responsible patient and you're just medicating adequately, just to treat your condition, not to get fucking blazed, then it's a different story. They can't do you. That's a positive thing in Ireland. We've got that already. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in time to come, I'll be able to convince my consultant to be able to apply for my license to be able to use cannabis legally. And then that changes things. So I could get stopped today in my car and be tested, and I could be failed. I could have my license taken off me. And if I get a license to use cannabis, then I can't be. It'd be a different story. I'd have to actually go that little step further and prove that I was impaired. The test is inadequate because they acknowledge the fact that the level of THC in your system is not indicative of the impairment of that individual by that substance. Why? Because THC is different to alcohol and other substances, as it's fat soluble, sticks around a bit longer. So anyway, we won't go on too long on that. I just wanted to remind people we've got something positive here in Ireland. Guards, cops over here, they have to go that little extra step further if you're a holder of a medical cannabis license. But for the rest of us who aren't without one, unfortunately, gotta keep the head down, so to speak, as I'm saying here in front of the internet. Right, shall we do another dose of this? Why not? So that was the end of the 420 news, guys. That was the final headline I wanted to go through. Witchy, there's that case is before the High Courts. It's who knows how long it might be going on. How long more it'll be going on for. As these things do tend to take some time. B Mooney says she's using Bobby's laptop. Scatna says, look like you might be out of space or memory. Ah, nice one. That could be possible, actually, as I've been doing a lot of photography. Oops, might have went a bit too hard in that there. A lot of photography there over the Christmas and stuff, and I did move a lot of stuff onto a memory device and the computer. So that could be an issue there. Might have to get another hard drive or something like that, transfer it over. John Phantom. Yeah, the root of the problem with your system crashing is Windows. It has always been crap. Microsoft was not originally an OS company, and Bill Gates is an incompetent programmer. Yeah, but he's good at making vaccines stuff, guys. He's really good at making those. Just not good at preventing viruses and issues with his own company. But he knows how to look after our bodies. And he's like the largest farm owner now over in the US as well. This guy's a talented man. Paul Efwick says plenty of non-pot smokers killing people or driving dangerously. No proof THC affects driving. Yeah, well, a lot of the proof actually indicates that it can affect driving, but the level of in the person's system is not actually indicative of it, because what's in my system versus what's in a first timer's system, the effect is going to be hugely different. Because like I've got a tolerance to it. My receptors aren't going to be as sensitive to it. I'm not going to be as what would you say? It wouldn't be as intense to me because it would be so overwhelming for a first timer, all the different kind of effects. As a common effect for a first timer is like, I can hear my heartbeat. I think I'm going to die. I've heard that one a few times, It's like, I can hear my heartbeat. It's like, yeah, that just means you're alive. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah. Paul Lefwick says, a smoker I know kills people, but hair don't. But he don't smoke much pot, just like it smells. Garda thinks it's funny, but it cost them $6 or more million on that killer. Crazy, man. Know how you're on about. Philman says, hi on homegrown. Looking good, Martin Bud. Hi on homegrown out there. If we are, what's happening, Mackie? Smoke a bowl for me, Martin. Will indeed. John, I'll blaze up the next one in honor of your good self, my man. I'm gonna first wet the whistle. Oh, that's pretty good, boys, in fairness. Podge says, I'd have the bottle of that put into a few e-hops for later on. Podge, bud, if you make your way up around the city there, I'll make sure that there's a bottle there left in the fridge for you, pal, if you want to come up and grab it. I don't think sending it in the post is going to be worthwhile. But if I happen to be heading down your side, or the west of Cork, I'll certainly give you a shout, pal. What about Yazoo's, Mr. Finnegan, huh? Is Yazoo something that it's good for? Because I like Yops. But I kind of prefer Yazoo's. But to each their own, I suppose. Yop is more yogurty. Yazoo is a milk drink, so I suppose they're apples and oranges. But when you add syrup in, they're both going to kick your ass, I'd imagine. I suppose Yop was the thing back in the day, wasn't it? Burning in a bit of hash into a Yop, giving it a shake. Yazoo didn't have the same effect for burning in a bit of hash. Do you know what I was told recently, actually? Somebody seen me with a Yazoo, and he goes, you on the gear, Martin? He goes, what are you on about, boy? What you mean am I on the gear? He goes, you've a Yazoo, boy. And I goes, yeah, so, like, it's like, it's decent, like, after a smoke. It's kind of sweet and sorts out the cotton mouth a little bit. Kind of make it worse too. You don't want to be drinking too much milk. But he's like, no, boy, all the boys who take care, boy, up around my place, boy, you see him walking around with the Yazoos because of the protein in it. So apparently, if you're on the gear, Yazoo is a thing that people go after because of the extra protein in the milk. There you go now, guys. This is something you learn something new every day. John Phantom says, first timer takes a talk or two of today's weed will not want to drive. Exactly, but that's the thing. They will not want to drive. You're not going to have a hit off a bong like you have a few shots of vodka and have that impairment happening where you can't determine what's a good decision to make or what's not. If you have a smoke, you're going to be like, and it's your first time, you're going to be, oh no, I'm sitting down, I'm not moving. Gets a cake or two, gets a couple of gets a cup of tea there and some chocolate digestives with a Nutella and toast. It's like, get my car keys away from me, I'm going nowhere. Do you know? There's nobody who's going to get stoned and be like, right, I'm going to go driving now because like I'm high as like no, like that just doesn't happen. But you get drunk and you're like, all right, I'm going home, and you're just going to jump into your car and not really think about the fact that actually, no shit, I should be getting a taxi home drunk. But drink is legal and it's not a drug, so all is good, isn't it? Right, let's blaze one up because John Finnegan is waiting for his hit. Mr. Finnegan, this is for you, pal. That was another advice by Dr. Grinspoon was when you take a hit of cannabis that you shouldn't really hold it in for longer than a second. Let's just inhale, inhale, exhale. That's it. In with the good shit, out with the bad shit. But yeah, it's kind of a habit to hold it, isn't it? Wow. Mr. Phantom says, well, there is still a cloud, but disposable vaporizers don't stink and are easy to hide. Yeah, disposable vapes. The only thing I hate about the whole disposable vape is the disposable nature of them. You know, they need to be more like biodegradable or more recyclable, I suppose. You know, this disposable fucking vaporizer thing. I see them all over the gaff over here. That's bugging the shit out of me. Talking about the nicotine disposable vapes. But I know THC cannabis is pretty much going to go the same way because you're going to have the same kind of mindsets behind it, selling it once it goes mainstream like that. But yeah, look, we go. That's another area we could cover in depth as to being a responsible producer and marketer of cannabis. Because you don't want to be manufacturing a product that's just going to leave rubbish that's going to be sitting in a landfill for God only knows how many years. You know, all of those batteries inside of those disposable vapes and things like that. And that's a crime. That shit should be illegal, really. Like that's a real crime, right? And I'm not one for prohibition, but I'd certainly like to see a bit of a prohibition around some of this fast technology that you literally buy, use it for 300 puffs, is it? And you fucking chuck it in a bin. Or like most kids who are using it, because they only changed the laws here in Ireland actually recently, where under 18s now can no longer buy these disposable nicotine containing vapes. But they were just throwing them on the road. They're all over the place. They're littering the place like cigarette butts were once before. It's insane. But look, that's today's capitalist fast fucking economy, you know. Get people to buy shit, use shit, buy shit, use shit, buy shit, use it, you know, and not really think about the repercussion for the planet and the footprint that it's leaving behind. Again, you know, we could talk about this. We could really go off on this one because scenario I do feel fondly about. I do my part. I try to consume as little plastic where possible, and when I do, I make sure that it's recycled. But again, look, that's something we could talk about again. You know, I say that, but then the guys who take my recycling, I learn afterwards that like they don't even fucking recycle it most of the time. It just ends up in the same place as the other rubbish. It's like, oh, my head hurts, but I'm getting locked up because I got caught with a cannabis joint. But these guys don't recycle your recycling, and that's okay. One is making some buzzies. What's happening out there, Mister? High and homegrown? See you there in the hot box. I was taking a quick break from the edit to drop in and say hi. Nice to see you there. And I see Mr. Tynan out there as well. What's happening? Says, how's all the gang? All good here. It's good to be back. First stream of the new year. We're 18 days into the new year, but hopefully this is going to be a start of a more what would you say, a more productive year, I suppose. Last year I wasn't very productive. I had a lot of stuff there taking me into the sidelines, unfortunately. My health wasn't good at the beginning of the year with the seizures and shit. Thankfully that came under control, and then other problems arose. But thankfully now all of that's good. Seizures under control. No other major problems there, except now cannabis prohibition is a major problem again, and I'm kind of thankful for that. Like, and you know, you might be like, this guy's fucking mad. He's thankful for cannabis prohibition, but you know, if you were in my shoes over the last couple of months, you'd understand. I'm happy again because of that in a sense, but I look forward to the day when it's not again, and it's like not because of the reason of the past. Yeah, we won't even go there. Bobby O'Brien says that the battery dies before the oil is gone, and some not rechargeable. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's kind of silly that you having all of this disposable crap. Doesn't make sense. Scatna says, don't ban vaping, ban disposable shit. Yeah, exactly. It's not. I definitely won't be banning vaping. But it's like the companies that are producing these disposable products, like they can afford to be more ethical in how they produce them. They can afford make sure invest some money, research, get some colleges there and students behind this and produce like fucking more efficient batteries that can be recycled better or something like that. I'm not an expert in that area, but I know if you put money in towards it, you can solve most problems. It's just they don't want to spend that money because it eats into their profits. But yeah. Keith. Keith saying out there, hit the like button, guys. And Kenny says he's flying as well. Good there. Excellent. Look forward to it again, yourself, others out there, guys. I don't have a calendar of events lined up for this year yet, but there's certainly going to be one published soon up at martinsworld.ie. And once that's up there, I'll make you all aware of it. But I hope we can fill it with lots of great events, gatherings of this community, because we need to come out more. We need to be out there engaging and being seen in the public. It's great what we're doing online. I think there's a huge community growing online every day. More and more people coming out of the cupboard and finding a home with all of those other like-minded people out there thinking, thank God I'm not alone anymore. I always felt like so alone because I know I felt like that for a while. And I know others out there have said it to me too, that it wasn't until they found a community through the Martins World Hotbox and stuff like that they felt so alone. So I look forward to the year ahead and lots of dates and events, protests, gatherings, because each one of our gatherings is a protest in a sense because, our presence in society is currently illegal and possessing cannabis in society is going to be worthy of a year or removed from that society. And we say, no, we have a right to do this. Like, we have a right to be able to make a choice what we consume in our bodies, and the government has overstepped their boundaries, and we need to take that back. So I look forward to that, guys. Batteries of the future are made from trees. Guess which tree seems to be most valuable for that? Would it be a cannabis tree? Yeah, no, it's of huge value because a side product, it's literally a byproduct of the cannabis industry is going to be all of this hemp fiber. All of this hemp fiber is made up of carbon. You can convert this carbon into like really good what are they called, fucking conductors, and like basically a conductor that can turn it into a battery that can store electricity. And it's like, why aren't we doing this? Why isn't more being done on this? Soon, guys, soon. I definitely think that the future is going to be a better one, hopefully. And more people just need to take charge. That don't give up. Don't be doom and gloom and thinking that tomorrow isn't going to be a brighter day. Tomorrow is always going to be a brighter day. You have to always keep that positive mindset. Easier said than done, but you have to try. What's going on with my hotbox? Why are we not getting updates? Oh, this syrup is tasty. Be down for the rest of the evening anyway, I'd say after that. Just gonna quickly fly over here to the hotbox and get your chats up. Rasher says, much love, Martin. Nice one, Rasher. Paul Effick says, a plane or helicopter could charge phones from landing. Could charge phones from landing, yeah? Didn't know that, man. Shy Son says, keep cool, calm, collected. Yes, indeed. Before I go, I suppose I should also mention the fact that next week, in just under 2 weeks now, I'll be back in court, actually. So we've that to look forward to too. So keep those dates in mind. The 30th and 31st of January. Got not one but 2 cases pending now before the courts. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in those. Also have an appeal for that 2-month sentence. That's going to be back at some stage this year as well. Don't have a date for that yet, but once I do, I'll let you know of that. So lots to be look forward to. Right, guys, I'll start loving you and leaving you as I'm not finding much other comments out there coming in. Finnegan says, Martin, DM me later about that thing I was asking about. Oh, yeah. No, I got you, bud. I'll certainly DM you about that, pal. Yeah, it's great to be back as well, Teresa. It's good to be able to cover some news. It's good to be able to come on here, have the crack, the banter. But again, I look forward to continuing this, and hopefully we can keep the spirits high for everybody out there. High and Homegrown saying it doesn't load the same it used to. Broken my streams too. Yeah, the chat coming through on the actual Streamlabs app has been quite freaking problematic all the time, hasn't it? But yeah, Scantness says, by all thanks, Martin, for a class show. Good to see you back. Nice one. OG, CG as well. Catch you later, CG. Everybody else, guys, cheers for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Look forward to the future streams. Catch you all soon. Peace and love. Bye bye.